Greetings, true gamesters. You're jacked into Game Theory Media, and we are here with Ron Gilbert, who's going to give us the newest information on The Cave. So, again, for people who may not have had the pleasure yet, we're not talking about the deep allegory. What is? Give us the idea of The Cave.
The Cave is this kind of humorous yet a little bit dark adventure game where these 7 characters go into this sentient talking cave to kind of discover something about themselves or what they desire most, or to find someone that's missing. Yeah, the different characters, each of the characters has some special skill that they can do, something they can do that none of the other characters can. Like the hillbilly, for example, he can hold his breath for a long time. So there's areas he can swim and get to that other characters can't. And then there's entire areas of the game that are just themed very differently for the different characters. Like the hillbilly, there's this entire underground carnival inside the cave. And if you don't have him, that's something that you won't really be able to get into and see. Maybe you poke around the edges of it, see that there's a carnival there, but unless you're playing with him, you really won't be able to get into the carnival. So every time players play the game, there's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff for them to see. It is. And I think, adventure games in some ways have always been a multiplayer experience, right? Because I remember, as a kid gathering around the computer with all my friends, one of us was doing the typing, but everybody was shouting out, solutions to puzzles, or try this or try that. And we really wanted to capture that with The Cave. It was really let you sit down, with your husband or your wife or your, brother and sister or your friends and have that kind of communal adventure game experience.
Do you talk a little bit about that?
We could only afford one voice actor, so we had to be The Cave. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. The Cave talks, but the actual characters, they don't. And the reason I did that was I wanted them to be a little bit mysterious. I wanted their motives for going into the cave to not be completely obvious from the beginning, and just having them not talk really kind of brought out that, because you're kind of looking at them going, well, who are they? What are they doing here? What do they want out of all this? So a lot of bringing out the personality of the characters really fell on the animators, because they needed to make sure that every character was animated in such a way that all of their personality came out with those animations. Yeah, adventure games really do morph. They started out as pure text games, and then they got a little bit of graphics, and then they got animation, and then they got voice, and there was just all these different things kind of changed. And I think what we have today is we have a very broad audience of people playing games. Everybody plays games. It's no longer this weird niche group of people that play games. And when you do that, I think you need to do things that are going to have more of a broader appeal. And part of what we were trying to do with The Cave was to make just running around the world a lot of fun. That moment-to-moment gameplay a lot of fun. Making the puzzles challenging, but not so mind-numbingly difficult that they're going to kind of turn off a lot of people to it. So that was a big challenge in designing the game. I like the night. I love the night. Yeah, when I'm doing a playthrough and I'm not having to specifically test with 3 characters, I usually always choose the night. I think The Cave, it's an idea that I've had for almost 25 years, thinking about that game, and now just kind of seemed like the right time, just because, like I mentioned earlier, gaming is just getting a lot more broad. A lot of people play games, and I think adventure games are the kinds of things that people are really going to like, because they are primarily about story, they're primarily about characters, and people just love that kind of stuff. And so it just kind of felt like the right time to kind of jump in and really tackle some of those fun issues with evolving adventure games. Yeah, I have a 11-hour flight tomorrow, and I'm going to play through the entire Walking Dead on that flight. So it should be a fun flight. I think it does validate it in a lot, and Telltale has kind of never given up on adventure games in a way, and props to them for that. And I think The Walking Dead is definitely does hit a much broader, much more mass market, and I think they really have tapped into that.
2 years in the process.
Yeah, I think they do pick up that pretty quick. We did a lot of testing with The Cave, where we brought people in to play the game, and we watched them play the game, and we had non-adventure game people play the game and adventure game people. And the non-adventure game people, yeah, there was this like 5 or 10 minute period where they were kind of confused, like where's my gun, you know? But it's like once they got that first puzzle solved, it was like this light bulb went off in their heads. And then from that point on, it was just this joyous, just solving these problems to like see more of this game and see where I'm going and go further into the cave. So yeah, I think people pick up on it very, very quickly. Don't ask me that.
Okay. All right.
Well, okay, so we've got the cave. It'll be out in early 2013.
Yeah, it'll be in January 2013. It's on the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Wii U, and the PC.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I look
Thank
forward
you.
to frustration and laughter.
All right, thank you.